Are traditional knives making a comeback in my everyday carry rotation? Today we're going to take a look at Zero Tolerance's take on the modern day slip joint knife with its 0230. And I'm going to convince you that you should make it part of your everyday carry rotation. Welcome back to Blade Insider. On this channel, we discuss all things knives. And today, we're going to take a look at traditional slip joint knives and Zero Tolerance's modern day take on the slip joint knife with its 0230. Now, I express my own opinions in this video, and your opinions may be different. I hope you'll share with me your thoughts in the comment section below. And subscribe to our channel. We put out new content every Sunday. Also, if you liked the video, hit the like button. I can't talk about the 0230 without first talking about traditional slip joint knives. They're still very popular today. There are certain advantages to a traditional slip joint knife, including the fact that everyone is familiar with them and they don't create anxiety when you bring them out in public. They're small and easily fit within your pocket, they're affordable, and they come in all different styles, shapes, and colors. But there are disadvantages as well. First, they're usually made with value or budget steel. And second is the opening mechanism of the knife. They open with a nail nick, and some of these blades are very hard to open and close. Now, the Zero Tolerance 0230 attempts to overcome these disadvantages with the traditional slip joint knife. Let's go to the bench and take a look at this knife. Before we get to the 0230, let's take a closer look at some other traditional slip joint knives. First, the Case Medium Trapper. This trapper has bone scales in green and navy blue, silver bolsters, and brass pins. Now this illustrates my problem with these traditional slip joint knives. There's nothing to grab hold of. You have to use the nail nick, and it takes quite a bit of force in order to open that blade up. The second blade opens a little bit easier. Both blades are made out of 420 HC steel. Now the blades are thin and they are small, so they can't take a lot of sharpening before they're unusable. Next, let's take a look at the Boker Medium Trapper. First, I want to point out the sheath on this knife. I just love this sheath. It's a great sheath, carries well on the belt. Opening the knife up, we have beer barrel scales. Now these scales were repurposed from a beer barrel in Germany. They have a great texture to it and a nice smell. Silver bolsters, silver pins, and a silver shield. Again, with the trapper, we have two blades. Now this knife is just a little bit easier to open, but doesn't have that stop halfway through. The blades are carbon steel, and I forced a patina on them with hot vinegar. I like the look of the patina on the knife, and it helps with keeping the corrosion down on the blades. This is just a great traditional knife. Let's go to the ZT0230. First, when you get the knife, it'll come in a I don't give a damn about the customer experience oversized box. I find it funny that they can't change the size of the box depending on the knife they sell. But when we take a closer look at the knife itself, the most striking feature is the carbon fiber scales. Now with carbon fiber, their atoms are bonded together in crystals and aligned in long threads. These threads are then woven together like fibers and combined with resin to make the fibers rigid. This makes the knife handle material extremely strong and extremely lightweight. We can see with these carbon fiber scales how it shimmers in the light in that cool pattern. Again, ZT does a marvelous job with their carbon fiber. There's a nice texture to it and a nice feel to it. Well, the carbon scales are accented by the black pivot and the black screws. On the spine, we see a blue anodized aluminum backspacer, and you can see in there that we have stainless steel liners. Then again, the best feature of this knife is how the knife opens and closes without any effort. You don't have to grab the nail nick. You can just grab the blade itself and open it up. This opening mechanism is a 2-ball detent system where it opens at the half stop, locks in place, and then opens again at the full stop. The only problem with this knife is it doesn't take a lot of force to close the knife or to begin to close the knife at its fully extended position. That may be a deal breaker for some of you. However, you just have to realize that this knife is not going to be doing the same type of work as maybe a full frame lock like the ZT-0562. Let's see how this knife cuts. You know, it's very typical with ZT knives that they're very sharp right out of the box. 20 CV steel is Crucible Industries' version of the M390 steel. Let's compare this steel with another one of Crucible Industries' products, the S30V steel. In regards to ease of sharpening, it ranks a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10, but edge retention is a 9 and toughness is a 6. 20V steel is very corrosion resistant as well and ranks a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. Comparing that with S30V steel, ease of sharpening is a 5, so it's a little easier to sharpen, but it ranks a 7 in regard to edge retention, so it doesn't hold its edge as long. It's a little less tough, rating a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, but it has the same corrosion resistance. Next, let's compare these knives with some others in my collection. First, we've looked at the Case Medium Trapper and the Boker Medium Trapper. Both are very similar in size. The ZT has a much more substantial blade than the other two knives, and again, much better steel. We'll look at the Medium Stockman and the Kershaw Leek. Now, the ZT-0230 and the Medium Stockman, again, are similar in size with each other. Much better width on the blade of the ZT-0230. In regard to the Kershaw Leek, the Kershaw has a larger handle. However, the blades are very similar in size. Finally, we'll compare it to some standards. Paramilitary 3 and the Benchmade Bug Out. But again, not drastically longer. Next, let's run the tail of the tape on the ZT-0230. The overall length of the knife is 6.25 inches and the blade length is 2.625 inches. The blade width is 0.75 inches and the blade thickness is 0.12 inches. It's got a flat grind and a stone washed finish. The handle length is 3.75 inches, and again, the handle's made out of carbon fiber. The frame liner is stainless steel, and the knife weighs an amazing 1.8 ounce. Finally, let's take a look and see how this knife fits in your jeans. As you know, I like to put knives in the watch pocket of my jeans. That saves my phone from being scratched up. Now, the 0230 fits very nicely in the watch pocket of your jeans, and you'll easily be able to get to it when you need it. Also, the knife will fit very well in your pocket. You can fit the knife in your pocket and have plenty of room for anything else you need. So that was Zero Tolerance's 0230. Here's what I think. I like the size and weight of this knife. It's very carryable, and it's not going to create anxiety when you bring it out in public. I love how this knife opens. It has the perfect amount of force used to pull the knife open, and you don't have to use the nail nick. You just grab the blade and open it. I like how the blade holds in my hand and that there are no hot spots. Finally, the carbon fiber. It has a very distinctive and slick look to it. ZT makes some of the best carbon fiber in the business. It has texture, it has design, it's strong, and also lightweight. The only concern I have about this knife is the amount of force used to close the blade. It just takes a light amount of force to keep that blade shut, and that may be a concern among some of you. There's also no clip on this knife. I don't really care about that, but it may be a concern among some of you as well. Now, I really like this knife, and I think it's a great everyday carry knife. But I can't use this knife the same way I would use maybe a strong frame lock like the Zero Tolerance 0562. So that's our video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something from it. I would love to hear your thoughts on both traditional slip joint knives as well as modern day slip joint knives, or any of the other thoughts expressed in this video. Please leave your comments in the section below. Also, please subscribe to our channel. We put out new content every Sunday. And if you liked the video, hit the like button.